إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما Amma ba'd, my dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, I want to share a little incident that I recently encountered, something that might be relevant to many of us. I recently sat with a young boy, 12 years old, and through conversation, I found this boy, he doesn't know the meaning of La ilaha illallah. And through conversation, I found he had very little knowledge about Islam, even to the extent not knowing or having attended even Salat al-Jum'ah. And of course, first and foremost, this is a failure of the parents. But this young child is like many of our children in our community. And after speaking to the parents, like any parents, of course, were concerned. They want their child to do well. They want their child to be successful. They want their child to be a good Muslim. We all have the same desires for our children, but in many cases, we are distracted. We busy ourselves with the dunya and other things, and we don't realize that in front of us, our children may not even be learning the basics of Islam. Upon further examination, the parents said, "What should we do?" The boy goes to a public school, like many of our children do. The boy doesn't really attend any masjid. And this is the case for many of our children. When we look at the problems our community is facing, there are many hurdles and many obstacles. And for each individual family to figure out all of this on their own, in many cases it is challenging. When you look at the trend, what's happening to the schools, the public school system here, what's happening to the society at large, we see increasing and widespread indecency and immorality. The more your kids are exposed to the society at large, they're facing extreme fitan of shubuhat and fitan of shahawat. Many misconceptions and temptations and desires all around. We see extreme confusion in the liberal, secular society that we live in. They're presenting a lot of dalal, a lot of falsehood and munkar to our children. So we are facing many tahaddiyat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Our deen is a deen of community. We gather to pray in congregation. We go for Hajj in congregation as jama'ah, in groups. We fast Ramadan together. We are one Ummah. And when we face challenges, in many cases these challenges are bigger than any single individual. One of our duties and responsibilities is to establish Islam. Establish the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wherever we go and wherever we are. Some of us may be wondering, how did I end up in this land, in this country, in this nation, in this city? It's the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here you are. Therefore, it is upon you to establish Islam wherever you are. Or on some level contribute. When you look years back in a city like Edmonton, you go back 30 years, 20, 30 years, there was maybe 5, 6 masajid. These masajid don't just grow out of the ground. These Islamic institutions don't just come about on their own. But they were through the efforts of brothers and sisters who were keen on contributing, making a difference to the Ummah, to benefit Islam and al-Muslimin. Many of us live a life, forgive me for saying this, but it amounts to very little. It's a very routine life. Eat, drink, work, home, sleep. The Muslimin are large in number. Even in cities like this in the West, don't think we are not big in number. There are tens of thousands of Muslimin here. If we work together on projects, we do great things. You look at the masajid at Jum'ah, they are full. Hundreds and thousands of Muslims attending. And every week the khatib talks about different topics, and sometimes, wallahi, I ask myself, are we really getting it? Are we really waking up? What is it that we should be doing? Are we really grasping it? Wallahi, thumma wallahi, thumma wallahi, satamut. Satamut. It's not a joke. You're going to die. Death will come for each and every one of us. Are we grasping it? Are we grasping the magnitude of the matter? Satamut wa satuhasab wa satus'al. This is it. You will die. You will be put to account, and you will be questioned about big and small. Every one of us needs to reflect, think, put yourself to account. You look at the limitations of our life. Prophet ﷺ, he said the lifespan of my ummah in the 60s. Some of us are halfway there, but there's no guarantee that you make it even that far. Therefore, what is it that you have done? What is it that you have done? One of the doorways that we have to focus on is as-sadaqah al-jariyah, the continuous sadaqah. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, إِذَا مَاتْ ابن آدم انقطع عمله إلا من ثلاث. If the son of Adam dies, then his deeds are cut off. No more salah, no more dhikr, except from three. Sadaqatun jariyah. Sadaqatun jariyah. A continuous donation, contribution that you made. أو علم ينتفع به. Beneficial knowledge that you left behind. أو ولد صالح يدعو له. Or a righteous offspring that would make dua for you. You leave good deeds. And when you're in your graves, you find yourself elevating in ranks from the good deeds that you left behind. We mentioned the verse, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Cooperate upon birr, upon righteousness and piety. What is meant by birr? That we increase and we go above and beyond in doing good. We have a responsibility to establish Islamic institutions. When we look at the story of our children, it's scary to think that a time will come where some youth amongst us, they won't even know about Allah. They won't even know about Al-Quran. They won't even know about Islam. We have a duty to establish and preserve Islam in the societies that we live in. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he gave from all his wealth on 3 separate occasions. This is what made the Sahaba radiallahu anhum exceptional. When there was a need, when the Prophet ﷺ was gathering an army, nobody hesitated. Every one of us, you take a masjid like this, the brothers who established these masajid, we work together to expand, to grow and expand the benefit. Our community is not only in need of masajid, but it is in need of schools, Islamic schools, a safe place to protect our children from all the fitan around, a school to instill Islam within them. For many of awam al-nas and the lay people, this is a huge benefit. Maybe they themselves, nobody taught them. They never learned much about Islam. It's not easy for them to teach their children, although this is not an excuse and they should be learning. But at a minimum, an Islamic school for their children is a huge necessity. When you assess the problems we are facing, this is something of great importance. We can't wait till the problems are bigger. We have to be 2 steps ahead, because these projects take time. And our ummah and our community is growing. And many people are looking for schools to put their kids in. And they're finding wait lists. They're finding increased prices because the demand is so high. So every one of us, be sincere and be truthful. How much are you contributing? How much are you giving? We might not be in a place of jihad on a battlefield, but that doesn't mean we can't engage in jihad. This is jihad, this is our jihad. Jihad can be bil kalima, with the word. Jihad can be with your wealth, with your money. Jihad can be with your time and your effort and your energy to give and to benefit the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My dear brothers and sisters, we need to wake up as an ummah. Every one of us should be contributing to a masjid like this. A sadaqah to benefit the future expansion You heard the brother in the announcements talking about an Islamic school project that we're working on. And the sooner we can accomplish it, the benefit will be there. But we need all of us together to work, all of us together to give. Don't let the shaitan or the shayateen of the ins talk you out of giving, talk you out of contributing. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, "Man bana lillahi masjida, bana Allahu lahu baytan fil jannah." Whomever builds a masjid for the sake of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will build a house for him in Jannah. For we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us and to benefit, to bless us with benefiting this ummah. أقول ما تسمعون واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَأَقْرِضُوا اللَّهَ قَرْضًا حَسَنًا وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُم مِّنْ خَيْرٍ تَجِدُوهُ عِندَ اللَّهِ هُوَ خَيْرًا وَأَعْظَمَ أَجْرًا. My dear brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, and give a goodly loan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is meant by this is contribute to the cause of Allah. The cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the benefit of Islam and the Muslimin. Give generously. وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُمْ مِنْ خَيْرٍ تَجِدُوهُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. Whatever you put forward, it is for yourself and you will find it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is better for you and greater in reward. There comes a time where we have to sacrifice. We have to give. I challenge each and every one of us. Go on our website, use the portals on the back and contribute a monthly donation to help us grow and build a school to benefit our community. A sadaqah jariyah, a waqf, to establish something for years and generations to come that would benefit the Muslims. This is our responsibility. And in the end of the day, we strive, we work, we sweat, blood and tears and everything, hoping from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-qabool. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us. Allahumma aghfir lana dhunubana wa aafina wa'afu anna. Allahumma ahdina wahdi bina waj'alna hudatan mahdiyin. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين. اللهم ادخلنا الجنة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آل محمد وأقم الصلاة.